Kia ora. My name is Shannon and I'm the pastor at Blenheim Baptist Community Church, and it's my pleasure to be able to join you via video this morning for your Anzac celebrations. Anzac Day is the day that we remember together those who died in military service and honour those who have returned from military service. Every year I look forward to the opportunity to commemorate Anzac Day with all of you at Ashwood Park, both the residents and the staff. And when we entered into lockdown and I realised that I wasn't being able to be there in person, I wanted to find a way to be with you in some other way all the same. The last several weeks have been unprecedented for New Zealanders and for the world. For many people alive today, this is the most uncertain time they have ever lived through, whether for the concerns for their health, mentally or financially. However, on Anzac Day we remember another time of uncertainty for our nation and for the world. A time when people were uncertain in many of the same areas, and even more. Soldiers serving on the battlefield having no idea what tomorrow would bring. Loved ones at home wondering when or whether they would see their loved child, spouse or parents ever again. In many ways, our experience as a nation right now can teach us a few things about the Anzacs. And in turn, the Anzacs can teach us a thing or two about our circumstances. As we're in isolation as a nation, I've spoken to many people who are currently battling feelings of fear, loneliness or restlessness. I've heard people asking questions like, when will this end? When will I see my family? I would give anything for things to be normal again. What are we doing this for? These are all questions I imagine that our Anzacs asked at one time or another during their service. When will this end? When will I see my family? What are we doing this for? For many of those that we remember today, they didn't have the privilege of returning to their families, but because of their actions, their bravery and their perseverance, their families and we have freedom today. The Anzacs taught us much by their sacrifices, and their lives continue to serve as an example to us today. One of the lessons that they teach us is doing things for the sake of others. The Anzacs laid their lives down for their country, present and future, their children and grandchildren and beyond. This doesn't always have to look like literally laying down your life, and we too ought to lay down our lives for one another. That's why we're doing what we're doing now, laying down our lives by staying at home, laying down our lives by going to work as essential workers. It fails in comparison to what some of these men gave up. But today we can see through our own circumstances a small glimpse of what they went through. The second thing that they teach us is to support those in your bubble. There are a lot of horrible stories when we remember our Anzacs, stories of war, sickness and death. But there are many more positive stories about how our Anzacs befriended each other, supported each other and became a family to one another during the most uncertain time of their lives. There are many letters and historical accounts of those friendships being the only thing that got them through those uncertain times. The entire story of the Anzacs is summed up as looking out for each other, those on the battlefield and those back at home. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay his life down for his friends. You know, over the last couple of weeks, Jacinda has used a term in her media reports that I've really loved. In her talks of response to the COVID-19 virus, she's talked about her team of 5 million. She's regularly commended them and acknowledged that this is not a government thing or a leadership thing, but a New Zealand response. And during the times of greatest uncertainty, the Anzacs teach us the importance of working together. So as you go about today and the coming few weeks, whether you have feelings of uncertainty or loneliness, instead of letting them weigh on you, let them become a positive and use them to remember the sacrifice that our Anzacs made for us. And then let their lessons encourage you to support those around you, those in your bubble, those on your team, those that are serving and those that serve you. Jacinda calls us her team of 5 million, and I count it a privilege to be on your team. Although I can't be there in person this year, it's a pleasure to be able to be part of your celebration, and I look forward to hopefully being able to be with you again next year. Ngā manaakitanga kia koutou. Blessings to each one of you. E noho rā.